Welcome to the Dowden Podcast. I'm your host, the official CRG, and today we are going to talk about why I believe these new and future generations are weakening and how we might be able to stop it. So I want to start by saying that there are hundreds of things that play a role into an overall generational weakening, but the main things I'm going to talk about today are currently happening right now, and it is starting to show. In my opinion, the greatest risk to our generations right now is technology, but to be more specific, I believe it's the internet. When I was growing up, Snapchat and Instagram didn't exist. You would see kids outside every day playing football, basketball, kickball, playing with a whole group of friends until the lights came on. OGs will know what that means. But nowadays you never see kids outside. You never see all the bikes in the front yard anymore. You never get that ding dong ditch. All kids do now is sit inside on their phones and play video games. Kids who were born in like 2006 to now never even saw a Walmart with the free game machines and the controllers, or they've never even been to a damn Blockbuster. So, everything that they do is online, and that's how we build introverts. Kids nowadays can barely hold an actual conversation for more than 10 minutes because the internet ruined their attention spans. So, kids and teenagers are now more reckless because of what they see online and that they think are cool, and even expectations have even changed. A lot of teenagers now act like they're almost entitled to something, like they are owed something, and just expect everything laid down for them. But in reality, that is not how the world works. So the internet and mass media apps are literally driven to get you attached. They are driven to draw your attention. That is what they made for. So they don't care what it does to your schoolwork or your sleep patterns. It doesn't matter to them as long as they get the eyes and the attention. That's what brings them the money, and that's what they're most worried about. Now, I do want to be clear. I am not saying, you should never scroll through your phone or social media or use the internet. I'm just saying that if that's all you do on a daily basis, you are not going to help yourself, certain habits you have, or generations down the line. You're just going to add on to the problem. Just look up once, sit outside, go for a walk, enjoy what's around you, enjoy what's really here and not what's on your phone. Another risk I see the internet having on our generations is it can easily make you lazy and take shortcuts. Now, I say this because no matter who you are, we have all had or have a goal before. So now let's say there's someone with the same goals as you and you see them online and they've achieved their goal, but they only put in about 50% of the work, but they blew up super quick. Now, that might grab some of your attention. Some of you might like the way that sounds. Some of you might think that's a good deal and you want to learn more. However, without even knowing it, you just took a shortcut, because you saw this person online and you see only their success. So instead of making sure you mastered whatever your goal is, you look more at the success other than your legacy. You see, yes, maybe that person did blow up and gather a couple of views and a couple of checks, but they only put in 50% of the work because they got lazy, which means they didn't master their goal and it could fail at any time. But if they just put in 100% and learn and mastered their goal, it wouldn't be so easy to fail because they would have been prepared and confident in themselves and their goals. So the internet has a massive effect on our generations because no matter who you are or what age you are, you can literally look up almost anything you want and follow it or believe it without even knowing if it's real or not have any repercussions from it. I also see with new generations a lack in knowledge and motivation. When I was in school, you could never find the library empty. There would always be kids in it. There would always be somebody reading a book or trying to learn more. But nowadays, if you go to the library, you will see kids there, but it's probably because they have to. No kid really enjoys going to the library and picking out books and reading anymore. School used to be something most kids were actually excited for. They were excited to see their friends. Some were excited to learn new things. Kids used to love to learn stuff that they found interesting. And now they just seem to not care. They don't care about history or space. They don't care about how humans evolved or how certain cities were made. I mean, all they care about is what's on their phones and the newest TikTok dance. And it's honestly depressing. And it's depressing because in the next 100 years, who's going to run NASA? Who's going to research the new viruses and outbreaks? The 5% of the population who didn't grow up brainwashed and weren't on their phones following trends all day? No, because it won't be enough. It won't be enough because we're teaching people to just sit and wait and have it come to you. And soon enough, nobody's going to do anything. No one's going to have a drive to create or build anything. They just want an easy overnight success without putting in the work. And that's how we fall as a society. So, my last and final reason why I believe we are going through a generational weakening is because there is a major lack in discipline and parent connection now. And I believe that that has a major factor to do with what's going on. The reason I left this for last is because the internet can also have a major role in this. But the main thing I want to focus on is the parent connection. In the past few years, we've been hearing about kids getting into shootouts at 15, 16, carrying guns into school. Even where I'm from, there's damn near 12-year-olds with tattoos all over, So my question is where are the parents? Like when I was growing up, this stuff never really happened. Kids were scared of their parents or punishment. Back then it was normal to get smacked up or get the belt. But nowadays it's child abuse or assault. So, now I'm not saying if your kid's bad or anything or talking back, you go and punch him. But like a spanking or grounding or taking away something of your kids, it isn't bad. It doesn't hurt them. We're getting to a point where parents don't care anymore because any punishment they do, the kid will call the police or something will go wrong. And no matter what a parent does, they just can't win. So they're just not caring anymore. I mean, teens are getting pregnant left and right. People are joining wrong crowds and losing their lives, and it could literally all be stopped with just a little discipline. I mean, parent connection is one of the most crucial things in a teenager's life because that's when they are learning the most. So as a parent, no job or project should be more important than your child's thoughts and feelings because those years will debate the rest of their lives. So with all that being said, I hope you guys can take a thing or two from today's episode and hopefully start to make a change from your own doing or from somebody else's. Maybe pitch a little information or insight, just kind of put them on the right path, or maybe even point them in the direction of this podcast. But today's quote is by the great Steve Jobs. He once said, "The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation that is to come." So my question to each and every one of you is, which one are you? Are you the writer or are you the storyteller? So you can follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. And with that being said, this is the Dowden Podcast.